Good morning. I just left the Groundhog Creek shelter. It's early, it's like 6:30-ish, and hopefully I can make it to the Walnut Mountain shelter, which is 13 miles up the trail. First we have to go over Max Patch. I think there's still like 3,000 or 3,500 feet of elevation today, but I think the climbs are smaller in smaller chunks, which is really helpful. There's rain in the forecast, so I have my raincoat just lashed onto the back of the pack for easy access. And yeah, I woke up at 4 because I heard thunder, but it never rained. Today is hopefully going to be a 13-mile day, and then tomorrow possibly another 13-mile day. I'd really like to get into hot springs tomorrow as opposed to Saturday, because if I get in there Saturday, it'll definitely be a Nero, whereas if I get in there tomorrow night, it'll just be a quick overnight. So we'll see. Today's day 20. Did I say that? Probably. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go hiking. So let me tell you that the privy at Groundhog Creek Shelter is the worst privy I have encountered in hiking 700 miles on the trail. I mean, it has all the usual, all the flies. That's not even what makes it bad. What makes it bad is it's like made for children, like under the age of 10 or even under the age of 5. It looks like a little playhouse. I'm a tiny person. When you go in there and close the door, my knees touch the door. I'm 5 feet tall. And it's built right in the middle of the path to a bunch of tent sites. And like somebody yesterday afternoon was in it, and I didn't want to walk by it because it's so obnoxious. Like, your head sticks out above it. The stall door comes up to about waist high. Like, there's no privacy at all. And I mean, I get it. There's probably not a lot of places to dig to make a privy, but they could have done a better job. And given the fact that the club that maintains this section, their signage is beautiful. Of course, it's easier to get people to donate money for beautiful signs than for a decent privy. Anyway, one of my hiking buddies, Alpha Gal, always rates privies. Dude, this one gets an F. An F. Well, I guess like a D- because the only good thing about it is I didn't have to dig a cat hole. A D- pushing an F. So bad. I love going downhill. It's my only saving grace for time. That's nice. What's up, Gary? Are you headed up to Max Patch? This is steep. These hills are so steep that I've really come to appreciate the steps, because they let you put your feet on level ground. This trail right now has a 13, almost a 14% grade. Anything over like 6 or 7% is ridiculously steep, and man, this is tough when there are no steps or stones. People complain about the rocks, but I'd rather have rocks to boulder up. This is harder than climbing some of the White Mountains because there's just no place to put your feet. It's very hard on the muscles. Well, Gregory. Looks like you're gonna beat Gary up to Max Patch. Wow. It's like perfectly balanced between two trees. Well, look at this. That's enormous. Made it. That is the Cherry Creek Trail. This is the AT. I stopped there for a second to look at the sign. Almost had a heart attack because another hiker snuck up behind me. She was very stealthy. "200 feet to climb, and then we'll be at Max Patch, where I will take a lunch break." Let's hear it for stairs. Woohoo! Almost there. Look at the buttercups. When I was here 4 years ago, when you were still allowed to camp up here and it didn't get destroyed by all the pandemic people, so that they have to shut it down for 2 years for restoration.
I've seen a lot of rhododendron. I never noticed
That nice young lady behind me, her name is Paige. She's the girl that came up behind me and scared the crap out of me. She was so stealthy. But I don't think I'm gonna run into her again because she started on the trail 2 days after me from Springer Mountain. So she's a lot further than I am. There's something out. I think a horse would struggle getting through here. And then, all right, where's the trail? I think this is one of those spots where you could get turned off trail. Like these are other, yeah. I just know, like out west, I lived in Arizona. This is the Roaring Fork Shelter. I'm gonna stop and have lunch. Well, That whole little section from Max Patch to Roaring Fork Shelter was a re-hike for me. And now I'm headed north again on trail that I've never been on. I had a really good, decently long lunch break. It's 1:20, so I should be good to go till like 6 or 7, I think, hopefully. Today I feel much better than I did yesterday. The tree is rooted up there and bends all the way down and then goes up there. This part of the trail has been very nice. I feel like I'm in a Donkey Kong video game going through this section. Welcome to the jungle. I didn't really want to take the detour, but that's pretty much a maze. Made it. That looks like a turtle face. Here in the jungle. I made it to Walnut Mountain Shelter, and this is the end of day 20. I hiked about 13 miles, just over 13 miles to get here. Tomorrow I'm going to hike to Hot Springs. So I'm gonna leave really early in the morning. It's way more downhill than uphill, so hopefully I will get there at a decent time. That's it. Day 20 is done. See you tomorrow.